This is my presentation on color output for digital photography. The purpose in this research that I did was to inform photographers how to manage their color from capture to final output. And the biggest piece of information that goes into color management are color spaces. And the use of these color spaces can be a make or break in how well your image turns out. And so first off, I want to talk about those individual color spaces. First up, we have sRGB, which this is going to be the most universally accepted color space. All display monitors run sRGB color spaces, and so this is going to be the most common. Adobe RGB, on the other hand, is a color space that's just a little bit wider gamut than sRGB, and so it's a little bit more vibrant, and this can be used for printing. Adobe Wide Gamut RGB is just as the name implies, it's just a little bit wider, and this one actually covers about 77.6% of all visible color, which is about 20% higher than either sRGB or Adobe RGB. And finally, we have raw RGB, which is basically capturing a set of data, a large quantity of information that is then transformed into a different color space. And the reason we would use that is just to have a little bit more flexibility as the creator. So while each of these color spaces are different, they all are the same in that they are all a range of colors that then have a numerical value that is then embedded into the image, basically telling the image how to display a color. So now I want to talk about how those color spaces help output images in the digital form. So like I said, sRGB is going to be the best color space for digital images. But another way to help, or a way to help reach that color management goal in digital images, is to make sure that when you are working through your workflow that you have your monitor calibrated. That means you adjust the display settings to make sure you are viewing the image in the way that a user is going to see it. And this is absolutely critical. Now I want to talk a little bit about how images that are printed need these color management principles, specifically color spaces. So like I said, Adobe RGB is going to be the best RGB color space for print. And just as the monitor display, the printing display and the environment must be at industry standards. So the printer must be calibrated. You must have good ambient lighting around you, and you should have your workspace in about 60% gray neutral, or gray neutral environment with about 60% reflection rate. Sorry about that. So that way, with both monitor viewing and printing viewing, you are seeing the output exactly how the consumer is going to see the output. So the conclusions from my research are that color spaces are color management. There's other ways to help achieve color management, such as monitor calibration and the printer calibration and lighting environments, but color spaces are how you are going to reach that final goal of preserving color and keeping the color's integrity throughout the whole process. And this is an easy process due to the software that we have in industry today. However, we still need this basic knowledge of color and how it needs to be managed in order to tell the software what to do.